We have a lot of great information for you today. We're starting with some outside the lunchbox ideas for school lunches.
And we're doing it with food and entertaining expert Liz Corbett. Liz, pleasure to see you.
Thanks for having me.
You have enough ideas today that we could do the whole hour with you, but we have so many segments on our show today.
Your ideas make me say, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Perfect.
Every single one.
Perfect. I'm glad.
What I was thinking was I used to trade lunches when you were a kid. So this is some pretty valuable assets if you're thinking about going to school and trading your lunches. Where do you want to start?
Coolest kid. Let's talk about some out of the lunchbox ideas.
Okay.
For what you can do for, because kids, there are kind of two kids. There's the one that's going to have the same exact thing every day for the entire year, and that's okay. If your kid is eating, don't stress. All right, don't make it a stressful thing for your kids. The other thing is, some kids kind of like to change it up a little bit. We're going to make some fun things with peanut butter and jelly today, and with hummus.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's get started.
So one of the things I want to mention before I forget is right on our little plate there we have a little disc. Now you'll notice I always use whole grain bread. You want to try to sneak in the healthy stuff with your kids as early as possible.
Definitely.
And you can make your own little peanut butter and jelly saucers that are crimped around the edge. Here's the coolest thing ever. It's all about prep for your lunch, so you're not scrambling that morning. You can make those and freeze them a week ahead.
Sounds, my goodness.
So you make a ton of them.
Sounds gross, but it is not gross at all. You make these sandwiches up, you pop them in the freezer in a zipper bag, and you pull them out that morning, put them in the lunch. By the time they get them, they're perfectly good to go, and they're not soggy.
And for grown adults, that's a great just got out of work snack, and I'm hungry.
Oh my gosh. Now, speaking of not soggy, when you do your peanut butter and jelly, I bet you thought you're doing it right this whole time. Well, you were not. I'm sorry.
It always tastes good.
You want to do a little bit of peanut butter on both breads and the jelly in between, so when you put it together, the jelly won't get the bread soggy.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, why did I never think of that?
Isn't that crazy?
My life is forever changed.
All right, now we're going to play with food. You ready?
Yes.
Here's what I want you to do. You're not supposed to do this so kids don't watch. Take the rolling pin and you're going to flatten the spread out.
Oh, you're not supposed to?
Your mom always told you don't squish the bread.
Okay,
but
but
we're
we
going to
are.
squish the bread today.
Okay.
Because we're going to make something really fun that looks like sushi. Oh, that's perfect.
All right.
All right, so now we have a little blank canvas here, and we're going to make one with peanut butter. My hummus is behind me, so I don't know if I can grab that or not. Okay, right in the fridge, right on the top. We'll just talk amongst ourselves while she disappeared.
So a peanut butter one, just like so?
Now you want to spread the entire thing because we're going to roll it, and we're going to make little cutesy sushi rolls, which are actually peanut butter and jelly.
Very cool.
So this is what they look like when they're all done.
Should I smear some jelly on there too?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't go too crazy because when you roll it up, it comes out the ends, and she's got
Look
our
what I
hummus.
found.
Look what she found. Awesome. So Ashley, why don't you go ahead and do a savory one?
Sure.
Some classrooms you cannot bring peanut butter, so you want to have another option.
Definitely, and they do have other like sun butter and everything.
But this is so cool. Just tell your kids it's spread or dip because they don't need to know what it is if they've never tried it, and it is so good.
So now we just roll it up?
You want to spread it out a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, quite a bit. All right, so you want to get it all the way to the edges. We're just going to pretend.
Okay.
Start here very tightly. I'm going to let you do it, Seth.
Okay.
Now, this is why we don't do too much jelly, but go ahead.
Oh, that's...
Well, you live and you learn.
You live
there
and
we
learn.
go.
You get
Roll
to eat
it over
up
right
the
there.
extras.
Cinch
and then
it.
if you want to take that peanut butter knife,
Sure.
scrape it off a little bit.
And then I'm going to cut little sushi rolls.
Yep. And you're just, she's got it. So with the serrated edge, you're just going to cut little sushi rolls.
I mean, forget the kids.
I mean, it just
I
makes
want
it
this
fun.
for me.
This is great for toddlers because it's little and it's cute. And if it's cute and little, they're going to eat it.
I feel like I'm working at a sushi restaurant right now. This is great.
So some other out of the lunchbox ideas are you can make a monkey sandwich.
So check this out. So this right here
peanut butter
is
and
our
a
monkey
banana.
sandwich.
And you put it into, I did a whole grain hot dog roll. And you could drizzle a little honey on there that gets a little messy. A little bit of chocolate chips maybe. Speaking of bananas, here's a super cool fun thing for your kids.
Yes.
Are you ready? I'm just throwing these ideas at you. In the morning, if you're like one of those super moms that has all kinds of time, write a secret message to your child on the banana. And by lunchtime, it makes a little bruise on the peel, and then they get a little secret message. So
Okay, that's pretty cool.
You could write anything.
So cool.
You could even throw this in like your significant other's lunch bag. You know, you are very appealing, or whatever you want to do.
I was saying, I hope my wife's not watching because I know what I'm going to do for her tomorrow.
Don't look. Isn't that the fun? Isn't that fun?
I like it.
All right.
So cool, right?
Why is there a rubber band on your apple?
I'm really glad you asked me that, Seth, because have you ever cut up an apple and then you get for lunchtime and you take it out and it's all brown, which is really sad.
And then,
all the time.
And then if you make the preventative step to put a little lemon juice on there, you put too much and you have a lemony apple.
Well, and if you put the juice on, which is a great idea, by the way, then you have to have a container for it. This is a container-free lunch. We're all about simple.
It's already cut.
It's already cut?
It's already cut.
Okay, check this out. Put a little, make sure the rubber band is clean. Don't take it off the newspaper because those things are nasty.
Or the lobster rubber bands.
Yeah, please. Okay,
Those are too
so
small.
it's already cut, but it stays together. So then they get there and they're like, bam, they just take the little pieces off.
Holy
Okay,
moly, that
isn't
is
that
so
the coolest
cool.
thing ever?
Game changer.
Okay,
Yes.
game changer.
We have time for one more quick little tidbit.
One more quick little tidbit.
Lay it on me.
All right. Have you ever had a stinky lunch bag?
I'm sure.
I
Yeah.
currently
All
have
right.
a stinky lunch
Ashley,
bag.
if you would,
True.
I'm going to tell you a non-toxic lunch bag cleaner, which is awesome. Those two things right there, pop them right out here.
Boom.
If you do equal amounts of white vinegar and water, equal amounts of hydrogen peroxide and water, either one, spray your lunch bag, so if it's stinky or whatever, wipe it out. That is a disinfectant, and it will clean your lunch bag without anything toxic.
Can I borrow this for a couple minutes?
And it won't smell.
Yeah, and,
Thank
and now
you.
if you get a vinegar smell, it'll go away, but that's a great idea for your lunch bag.
Have we haven't even scratched the surface yet,
haven't
have we?
even.
Good.
No, no.
Well, we'll be back in a little bit in the...
We're back in the kitchen with food and entertaining expert Liz Corbett. Back to school lunch ideas. It's all about organization and
Oh
prep.
my gosh, you are so right. If you remember 3 words from today, those 3 words are prep, prep, and prep.
Okay,
Because
prep and prep.
it will save your sanity, it'll save you time, save you money. I mean, it's a no-brainer, but if you do it ahead of time, morning time, lunchtime, it's just like drive through getting your stuff. Bins to organize everything, have the kids involved.
That's a great
Make
point.
it very easy for the kids to help you.
And if you can wake up and just say, all right, grab one from this bin, one from this bin, you'll be great.
You are so right. Now, sometimes moms get a little stressed. They need a little extra help. So there's lots and lots of free printables available online. There's all kinds of little back to school. You know, like, oh my gosh, what do I need to get for groceries? This is like all the standard lunch stuff. And there's many, many things you can do to print out. I mean, this is just one example of the things that you can find.
I need this for me.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're never too old to make a checklist. I've
Exactly.
Found, which is
And make sure I come back to that. But we're going to make the coolest thing ever. I'm super excited about this. You can make your own ice packs to put into your lunch. Now, you can buy those blue plastic hard ones. But the nice thing about something flexible is that it will mold around a lunch item that you have.
Like an apple
in
or
your
something
lunch,
like that.
apple, whatever. I want you to feel this. This is corn syrup. Get the cheapest kind you can because you're not going to eat it. You're going to use it to make an ice pack. Look at his face. But isn't
It's-
that
And
fun?
it
It's
sparkles.
wacky.
Okay.
Hey, did you see the fashion segment? It was all about
Oh
the
my
sparkle.
gosh, we are so in
It's
style.
so
We're so
trendy.
I took it
trendy.
over the top and I added glitter to this.
All right, I'm playing.
If it opens, no big deal because it's non-toxic, but you may want to skip the food coloring and the glitter if you have kids who like to poke holes in things. Just saying, because I had one of those.
Yeah, it goes
Okay.
from fun
I don't
and
know. I
adorable
don't
to
know.
a
All right,
mess
So each
really
of you are going to
quick.
grab, whoa, he's got, all right, each of you are going to grab a Ziploc bag. I
Okay.
recommend stabilizing it inside of a bowl.
Okay.
And you're just going to squeeze in like a massive amount. Take that whole thing around.
The whole.
Yeah.
Do I all this in there?
Like a half of it. Seth
Okay.
is getting a little crazy over
Oh,
there.
we're having fun
That's
over
good,
here.
Seth. That's
All
good.
right.
Is this too
Okay.
much? Is that good?
A little bit more.
Okay.
All right, so again, get the cheapest stuff you can. It doesn't matter if it's expired or whatever because you're not eating it.
Okay.
All right, so go easy with the drops, 1, 2, or 3. This is 3 drops to make this fun blue.
I went 3 also.
Okay, and then to make it extra fun, you can add glitter if you'd like. So Seth, you could go super glittery and do the gold.
I'm going to go super glittery and do the gold.
Okay, and then Ashley, my guess is she's hoping for pink here.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
So without the cap.
Almost lost it.
That's okay.
So this is also good for boo-boos,
Oh my
right?
gosh, this is the best boo-boo thing ever. Because if you had a boo-boo, wouldn't you want something sparkly on it instead of something that's not as fun?
Every time.
Absolutely.
All right, so you're basically going to mix it up, but you want to burp the air out, Seth.
Okay.
The best way to do that is to lay it down flat and oh so carefully, maybe on top of a plate. Get the air right up to the edge and then burp all the rest of the air out. And you have to say burp because that's what you're doing. Oh my gosh, look at his. Wow, that is fun.
Jealous.
And
I'm
then
a trendsetter around
if
these
all
parts.
the air is out, it will be less likely to pop or to get holes in it as well. And
Ooh.
Look at
important
that.
tip for this one has to be freezer zipper bag. Make
Yes.
sure you get the heavy duty ones. So let's fly through some other tips.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Speaking of freezer, Seth, if you would grab that little water bottle right there, the green one.
Sure.
If you put your water in the night before and freeze it on the side like this, when you fill the rest with water and do this, it's not going to block the water
Great tip.
coming out, okay?
Keep 'em coming.
Easy,
What's
I
next?
know.
Oh, love
All
it.
right. You want to go as green as you can with your lunches, meaning eco-friendly.
Yes.
So I've got some little bamboo place settings there. You want to go with things that you just bring home and rinse instead of throwing away.
Very
go with
cool.
the fabric napkin. Bandanas are a great cheap napkin for kids.
Ooh,
they're
and
like
so
99
stylish,
cents.
too.
Another thing you might want to consider for wrapping up your sandwiches is waxed paper. Because when you get to school, you're not using a plastic bag, first of all. You go like so, you unwrap, and then now you have a splat mat. Because don't you kind of
splat
get grossed
mat.
out a little bit when you see kids plopping something right down on a table and you do not know what's on that table?
Yeah.
Okay, so splat mat. Or at home.
Yes, flat mat for anywhere. What is this about, this
Okay,
sponge?
this is another alternative for really fun do-it-yourself ice pack. any kind of a household sponge, a nice, fun, bright, colorful one, and you want to soak it and not really squeeze the water up, but get it really, really, really saturated. Pop it in the freezer. As it melts, the sponge will absorb the water, so it's not going to be leaky.
Very smart.
And you can even, at the end of your lunch, open it up and clean up.
Oh, love it.
Isn't that the coolest thing ever?
I love
for
it.
the cleaners.
Now, Liz, you want us to get back to this? We have about 30 seconds left. Here's some jokes.
Throw some jokes in your kid's lunchbox.
Throw jokes in your kid's lunchbox.
Ready?
I'm all about
like,
the jokes.
What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. All
Ah,
right, we got time for one more
All
because
right.
it's worth it. What's the difference between a fish and a guitar? Ashley?
Something about scales.
You can't tune a fish.
Okay,
Oh.
very last one. What do you call a nosy pepper? What does he do?
What do you call it?
He gets jalapeno business.
There we go, folks. If you want all of these
Jalapeno.
ideas
Make it fun.
and more, maybe even a joke or two, just visit us online,
pretty.
mymassappeal.com.